Hello everyone, I'm SteveMan Central and welcome to my 100th YouTube video. I wanted to make this a Q&A video, so I asked y'all on Twitter to send me some questions to answer, and I got them right here. Alright, I got the questions and answers posted right here below the camera because my memory is really bad nowadays, so forgive me if I'm not looking right at y'all. Poke Penguin asks, when did you first get into Pokemon and has it shaped who you are? I first got into Pokemon when I was 9 years old, around the time the Jungle expansion had just been released in America. I saw some kids at school with the cards and thought they were kind of cool, so I asked my parents to get me the base set starter deck that came with the first edition Machamp Hollow. And from there I started collecting the cards and playing the Game Boy games and the card game itself. I even went to the Pokemon League a few times when Toys R Us hosted it back in the day to trade with other kids. And because of the social interaction and overall fun of it all, it led me to new friendships, lessons on how to trade to get better deals, how to properly store and protect not just cards but valuables in general. And the games have always been an outlet for me to relax, even to this very day, which is very important to me, to find some outlet to get away from all my mental and physical crap going on. So yeah, overall it has definitely shaped me to become a better person in some aspects of my life. Classic Cat asks, what's your favorite Pokemon? My favorite Pokemon in terms of looks is Arcanine, but my favorite Pokemon overall, and the one I would choose to have if they were real and I could only have one, would be Lucario. I think it would be a great companion, and given its humanoid attributes, it could help me out like a human helper could when my back goes out and whatnot. And also I think Lucario is a great mix between practical application and the fantasy of the Pokemon world. Ram asks, what's your favorite Pokemon and favorite Pokemon card of all time? Well, I just covered what my favorite Pokemon would be, so to answer what my favorite card of all time is, it would be this special Japanese Pikachu card from the 15th anniversary box set you can see right here. I just love the artwork, the colors, the textures, and how Pikachu is presented, and is like not the normal kid-friendly type Pikachu, but it's an electric mouse that's actually going to kick some ass. Like, instead of saying Pikachu all the time and crying for Ash when he dies, he's actually going to fight and win some Pokemon Leagues for once. This is different. That Gamer Dad asks, who was the second gunman on the grass knoll? If the moon were made of spare ribs, would you eat it? Area 51, explain. The second gunman was a covert CIA operative sent out to help eliminate the threat that JFK was presenting to the rest of the world at the time. At least that's what some conspiracy theorists say. If the moon were made of spare ribs, I would not eat it, although I like ribs, because for one, it would all be covered in dust, and two, it would throw off a lot of the natural processes here on Earth, like tides. So no to eating the moon as spare ribs. Area 51, classified. Mimi of Pokemon Excavation asks, what more is there to you? There's a lot more to me than just Pokemon. In fact, my Pokemon card collection is just a nice little thing I have to look at sometimes for nostalgia, and nowadays some giveaways. I have some duplicate sets and cards, but honestly most of the time they're just sitting in boxes or binders on the shelves, and I can go months without looking at them. I'm more into computers, woodworking, recording and editing videos for fun, photography, good sound systems both for home audio and for automotive audio. But in recent years it's been more towards home audio, like good sound systems in the home. I recently got back into playing World of Warcraft after taking a hiatus of 4 years. A lot has changed and a lot is going to change with the new Battle for Azeroth expansion coming out later this year, and I'm looking forward to whatever fun it has in store for me. I have a dog, a rabbit, and some fish that I all love to death, and I like to help people out whenever I can, especially when it comes to helping people with depression or anxiety or PTSD, because I know what that's like to go down a dark path and feel all alone. So I want to help people whenever I can for that. I'm an Air Force veteran from 5.5 years of working on the E3 Century AWACS as a radar technician. And despite it being an older aircraft, it's still the best in the world at its job, which is surveillance radar. I'm into a little bit of automotive cleaning and detailing the correct way, because I believe if you own something nice like a car or a house, then you might as well take care of it the best you can and try to present not only it, but you're driving the vehicle, so that's a statement on you. You look clean. Your vehicle might as well look as clean as possible. That's what I believe in. I love to fertilize my own yards and take care of them the best I can, despite my bad back. Some weeks I can't mow because of my back. However, when I can, I like to show people that doing a basic upkeep on your yard can make it look amazing. And that's how I keep my neighbors dominated. I want to become more involved with Magic the Gathering and learning the mechanics and ins and outs of that, because I want to eventually go to Friday Night Magic events around me, and hopefully that might help me with my social anxiety disorder too, to get out there and meet new people and do new things. There's a lot more to me, but that's just some high points. Yeah, let's just move on. Ooh, here we go. Now these last set of questions all come from the Cajun Catcher, which asked, what is your motivation to continue doing YouTube, given the current state of the platform and hashtag adpocalypse? YouTube needs to get their heads out of the rears and listen to their content creators for once. The whole point of YouTube is not just getting videos out there for us to enjoy, but it's also a platform for freedom of expression, and currently YouTube has been suppressing people's freedom of expression in several ways. For people that actually make a living from AdSense revenue from their videos, it's beyond horrible. I personally don't make a living from YouTube, but if I did, I would be beyond furious. So I can only imagine what the people making a living off of that ad revenue is going through. But in the end, we don't own YouTube, and we simply upload, so we don't have as much control as we all should. Hopefully that will change. If not, we'll just start using other platforms like Linus Tech Tips' new float plane, or VidMe, or Patreon, or some other new platform. YouTube, get your act together. Seriously. What was your favorite subject in school? My favorite subject in school was probably science, because of the endless possibilities of theorizing and trying to understand the unknown in our universe. I've always been a sci-fi nerd too, so that might have something to do with it. What's your favorite time of year and why? My favorite time of year would be around the months of November to March, like what we're going through now. I love cold weather, for one, and I've always felt more at peace or at home during those months. Like, I belong in that environment. I mean, I am all European, and it gets kind of cold over there. Might be a Viking, I don't know. At least for the northern hemisphere, at least, because when it's winter up here, the southern hemisphere has summer, so it's hot down there right now. Just to be clear. What's your favorite type of music, and who is your favorite musical artist? I really tried to answer this question the best I could, but there's no simple black and white high contrast answer to it. So instead, I've pulled up my Pandora stations for y'all to take a gander at right here, wherever I'm putting it on the screen. And hopefully y'all can see not only what type of music I listen to, but also how many hours I've spent listening to each one of those stations. Higher amount of hours, the more I like it. And hopefully that gives you a better insight to my musical taste. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Look, man, that's a highly classified answer. Do you think man will walk on Mars in the next 15 years? Do I think man will walk on Mars in the next 15 years? I really don't know. There are way too many obstacles we have yet to establish and overcome for that to happen. Even if the trip to get there was only a few weeks and that went perfect, actually living on Mars and trying to set up a colony would be very difficult feat given our current technology and the foreseeable technology we might develop between now and then. You gotta remember, one of the main problems with living on Mars is the lack of a molten core, which for us causes a lot of the sun's harmful rays to be blocked, like from the Earth's magnetic magnetosphere it creates from the magnetic core, or molten core, excuse me. So Mars doesn't have one of those. So all those harmful rays from the sun, they just bombard Mars all the time. There's no protection like what we got here on Earth. So I really don't know. I mean, I'm all for space exploration, but I'm not sure if we were meant to do that. And the last question is, what is your favorite branch of science? Well, my favorite branch of science would have to be anything space related. And I know that's kind of broad, but at least it narrows it down to the endless void we know as our universe. I've always been fascinated with space and the possibility of aliens being out there. So, I mean, it goes one of two ways. There are aliens out there or there are not. And the universe is so big because that's just the way it was made. Well, that's it for my 100th YouTube video Q&A. I hope y'all learned something new about me, and thank you to those that asked me these questions. If y'all want to follow me on Twitter, just look me up, SteveMan Central, and of course subscribe to me here on YouTube. This has been SteveMan Central, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.